Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Phillips.
All right. Mic check, mic check. Thank you.
1, 2.
I'm going to use my outdoor voice. People can hear me, right? All right. I'm going to read a quick excerpt from Monkology. Monkology is a collection of, now it's 15 of the limited edition that Tyson mentioned originally had 13. This has 2 more that weren't in that. And it's my character, Ivan Monk. It's a character of mine, private eye character of mine that's been around for some time. Really, I guess, almost damn near 20 years now. Coming up on, the first book was published, or I wrote the first book actually right after the riots in '92, and that book, Violent Spring, came out, I guess it was in early '94. And I've written several novels, 4 other novels with the character, these short stories, and finally getting back to work on the next novel. So this story is called Boom Boom, and it's sets in motion. Somebody's blowing up check cashing places in South Central, and in one of the incidents, a homeless man who's been sleeping in back in one of the places when the thing catches on fire, he's caught in the inferno and killed. And so now the heat is on, or the press is on, to find out who's done it. And this scene takes place. My character, I should mention, he's a private eye, but he owns a donut shop in the Crenshaw district. So this takes place in his donut shop. As he and his ex-con manager are fixing a donut case. And there's another character, a couple other characters in it, but you'll see. You know why Foreman can take Tyson? I'm going to tell you why. Ivan Monk was trying to tune out retired postman Willie Brandt's explanation as he and Elrod, the giant shop manager, affixed replacement glass in the donut case. See, Foreman has got what they call ring savvy. Oh, I know Tyson has some experience, but Foreman was heavyweight champ before that boy knew he liked pussy. You can't buy that kind of experience. Brandt continued with his odd analysis as Monk and Elrod gently got the plate into place, pressing it against the still moist ceiling. The bell over the front door to Continental Donuts jingled, and Brandt exclaimed, "Shit." Monk turned his attention from screwing one of the metal moldings in place to secure the glass, and saw 3 people standing in the shop with their gloved hands in the air. The trio, 2 men and a woman, had paisley handkerchiefs tied around the lower parts of their faces, and their eyes were hidden by sunglasses. Identical black watch caps were pulled low on their heads. Elrod, 6 foot 8 inches, 325 give or take pounds of potential pain, was surreptitiously reaching for the Remington shotgun underneath its rig under the counter. Monk touched his arm for him to stop. "Haven't you got this robbery thing backwards?" he asked the 3. "We're the disciples of determination," one of them said. The youthfulness in his voice couldn't be masked. "Damn," Brandt exclaimed again. "You a new rap group?" Monk came from around the counter. The disciples put their hands down but remained standing with their backs to the front of the shop. "No, brother," the woman answered sharply. "We're the ones who blew up the 2 Omar's check cashing places. 3 of them got blasted," Elrod amended. "That's what we're here about," the first one went on. "Somebody's been copying our action. We didn't kill anybody. We didn't do the one on Tuesday night." "Tell the police that," Monk said. "Quit being smart," the woman admonished him. "If you check, you see the first 2 were designed to explode in a certain way, thus minimizing the chance of fire. The one the other night was an amateur's job." "What do you want with Monk?" Banner interjected. "We want to hire him to find the copycat," the woman said evenly. "Not only is he a killer, he's messing up our agenda." "What is it?" Monk inquired. "To see to it the ones who profit from our community understand business won't continue as usual," the woman emphasized. "It's a new day, and our message is coming on strong," the one of the others added. "I'll give you this for free. Turn your would-be revolutionary asses in before you get yourselves killed," Monk scolded them. The one who'd been silent reached underneath his shirt, and Elrod produced the shotgun. "It's cool, big man." He handed Monk a lunch bag folded into a rectangle held together by rubber bands. "Why don't we just arrest you now," Monk said. "Because then you wouldn't be a hero and be able to tell the cops where the next bomb is." The young woman one-upped him, putting a hand on her hip. It's set. If you clamp us, it's on. If we leave, we call you later and let you know in time. From the way the handkerchief lifted, Monk could tell the woman was smiling. Well, you gotta drag me into this, Monk said. Why not you, brother? You're supposed to be the people's detective. You the one that owns a donut shop and shit. The three laughed mirthlessly and marched out. If you try to follow us, we'll blow it up by remote, dig? The woman added. I got it, Monk said. As they promised, one of the disciples called within the next 40 minutes and told Monk where the bomb was. The LAPD's bomb squad took the device from the trash can inside of a check cashing place at the southwest corner of Slauson and Figueroa. It was not one of Omar's. Christ, Andrei Baroshnov said in his native Estonian, hitting the side of the television set with one of his Tony Lama boots. His intercom buzzed and he picked up the handset. Yeah, he growled, an accent in English, then listened without interrupting, which was unusual. Show him in. Monk entered the office with a man who was Omar. Black man, Razanov beamed, extending his hand, did an elaborate soul handshake, complete with knocking the flaps of the fist together. Pop a squat and lay it on me. He was easing his angular frame back down, then stopped midway. You want to wet your whistle? His multi-ring hand swept to the right side of the swank office, indicating a built-in marble-top wet bar. No, I'm all right. Cool. Razanov settled into his high-back swivel, the San Gabriel Mountains in bold relief behind him through the large tinted window. So you know something about these bombings of our facilities? He played with one of his rings while he talked. Have you received any kind of blackmail demands from some people calling themselves the Disciples of Determination? Monk noted a clock placed in the belly of a nude woman's cutout photograph on the check-cashing king's wall. Razanov remained still, thinking, no, they're the ones supposed to be fucking up my places? He tried to make it sound like an idle query, but Monk knew he could hear the anger easing into his voice. Well, they've admitted to bombing 2 of the 3 to me. You're the one who tipped the ones about the 4th. It was just on TV. He pointed at the set he turned off as Monk entered. You know them? More of the friendliness wore away in his voice. I don't. And why they come to you? To prove their relative innocence, Monk said, crossing his legs. So they hired you? Or to tolerate? Who's that? Monk said. A quick jerk of his head toward the TV. Pamela Tolliver. She owns the 6 places to my 15, well, 12. That was one of hers where they found the bomb. His dark eyes narrowed in the cat slits. You want me to pay you? I just want information. Maybe it's funny how the bomb that gets found is in her place, not one of mine. I've been thinking on what you come up with, private guy. Razanov interrupted, naturally falling into his usual impatient manner. Don't know yet. Let me ask you something about, okay, he said, looking at the nude woman and her belly clock as if for guidance. Go ahead. In an offhanded tone, Monk said, there's rumors about how you made your money a few years back, about how you and some fellow immigrants were hooked into the loose-knit Russian mafia and sold untaxed gasoline, trade and telemarketing scams along the eastern seaboard. Never been convicted, Razanov said, cutting him off. My point being, you must have given it some thought. What thought? Razanov said agitatedly. That somebody you might have stiffed in the old days was coming out for a little payback. Razanov leveled a finger at Monk's nose. You say these disciples come to see you. Could be a put-up, you know, a front for the real player. Razanov proceeded to process the data. Blacks working for the Azerbaijanis? He murmured, then leaned back in his chair. Well, could be, he mumbled, settling forward. Or you're behind it yourself, Monk said gravely. Razanov blinked at Monk like a newborn. My brother, how could you say that? I employ people in the community. I put money out there with all your Caucasian bankers redline and deny them loans and what have you. I got responsibilities I don't run from. I don't need the insurance money that bad. He shook his 2 fingers together. You loan money, Monk pointed out. Razanov stopped short from answering. Look, see this? He produced an ad slick which offered $25,000 for the capture of the bombers. That's going to run the Sentinel, the Watch Times, and in Spanish in La Opinion this week. He moved the stat under Monk. You could be a high roller if you catch these bums. Could be. He got up, leaving the slick on the table. Browsenoff gave him a cagey look. So, how are you making money on this? The truth is my payment, Monk shot back. A man in a cold room tell me that once, Monk. Browsenoff got up and came around the desk, clapping him on the back. But in this country, officials like Tina Chalmers work for us. Isn't that right? Monk showed surprise. You know Tina? Of course. Several of my places are in her district. The last one that went boom, in fact. She's having a candidates forum tonight. Some of my employees are going to ask her what she's doing about this. Put her on the spot. You know. As he showed Monk out, the woman with the clock embedded in her belly continued to smile enigmatically.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
I'm going to bring up